You can't just be about yourself. If it's only about trans rights, what about women's rights? Children's rights? You're willing to throw women and kids under the bus for your own rights. In order to get your freedom, you have to let other people have their freedom.
Hey everyone, I'm in LA with...
Oh my God, you are.
with the amazing Bug Angel.
I love you.
I love you. It's so great to see you.
I know, it's
again.
so great. Again.
I loved our last video. It was really funny.
But I always have fun with you because you're awesome.
Thank you.
You have a great
too.
channel, by the way.
I have some TikTok videos for you. You love that, right?
I love it.
You love TikTok.
It's just ridiculous.
They're not all bad. Let's start with this one because you're mentioned in this video, and I think it's a very important discussion to have.
Okay.
Obviously, you should go to the bathroom that, like, you express as.
What?
Express as?
Do you want Blair White walking into the bathroom with, like, a little boy? Do you want Buck Angel walking into a bathroom with, like, a little girl?
I also think it's like a safety concern.
Yeah.
So what do you think about that?
When are we gonna just get over the toilet? I'm not using the woman's room. I don't care if it's a law. I don't care anything. I look like a man, okay? I might not be a man, but I look like a dude.
Yes.
And that's how it should work. How the bathroom stuff should work is, if you look like a man, you use the men's room. If you look like a lady, you use the ladies' room. And if you don't look like any of it, figure it out, okay?
Don't go to the bathroom.
That's right. But like the majority of people in the world look like men and women.
Right.
And the fact that we just keep talking about it, dude, that's why I just think it's like one of those things of look over here, while we're destroying all of this.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
it's such a stupid, ridiculous thing. It's got so blown out of proportion, but that's the fault of those ones with the beard and the dress.
Yeah.
So they're the ones who are making this issue, not people like us.
No.
You know what I mean? Or Blair or any of that. It's the ones who are wearing beards and dresses and calling themselves women. So I do understand why women feel concerned around that. This isn't a conversation about men. It's really a conversation about women. So if you want to be a woman and you have a beard and a dress, you better understand that people are going to push against you. Whether you like it or not. I mean, that's...
Just like they would push against you going to the women's room.
People would flip out, dude. I would get arrested.
Yeah.
I got to show my vagina? Like, what?
To prove yourself? Yeah, no, that's ridiculous. Have you noticed how many people on the, like, woke left use you as an example just like this?
They've been doing it forever,
But they hate you, but they would like to use you in the bathroom debate.
Well, that's what's happening over there on that left woke side. And no, it is. They're total hypocrites. They completely manipulate stuff.
Pick and choose.
And also, they don't want to build a bridge, dude. They do
No.
not. They are not. I'm solution oriented. They're not. They don't want a solution. They want to just have everything or nothing.
Yeah.
On some level. It's very bizarre behavior. That's why they're going to lose.
This one, it's... you have to use mental gymnastics to watch this. It's someone trying to sound smart, but in reality, she just sounds really dumb.
Oh my God.
You don't hate trans people because they're trans. I know this because you say you hate trans people, but you uplift people like Buck Angel and Blair White. You do this because you like trans people who see their transness as a deficit or something that makes them other. And if a trans person hates themselves on some level, you feel that they are allowed to pursue this part of themselves.
What?
Because at least they have a healthy sense of shame for being who they are.
Somebody likes to hear themselves talk. Number one. Like, blah, 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 blah. None of it made sense. It literally was like a circular... Do you know what circular reasoning is? It's when people just go around and around in a circle, but it doesn't make... None of it makes any sense.
She's talking, but not making sense.
And also, don't talk about me, lady. Like, first off, I'm an old transsexual who probably did this before you were born.
Yeah.
So you don't get to use me as some kind of gotcha moment. I did do this actual thing.
Yeah.
And I'm very, very okay in my space. But for these people who are acting as if they're trans, like, inclusive or positive, yet they always say crap about me and Blair.
Yep.
That is disrespectful and on some level transphobic.
So I think what she's trying to say is there are some people who usually hate trans people, but they don't hate the trans people who hate themselves, and then mentioning
Oh, so I hate myself. Yeah,
Yes.
that's obvious.
She knows that better than you, apparently.
That's so obvious. I hate. What are you talking about, lady? That's the circular reasoning nonsense. And those people out there who like me, who don't like other trans people, they like me because I'm honest. That's all people ever ask. And I've been doing this work for 30 years. They like me because I do not lie to them and I have nothing to lie about. And you people out there who they do not like, you're lying and ruining it for people like us. So you don't like the fact that we're standing up for our own rights that have nothing to do with what you're doing, which is literally taking our rights away from us.
It's a straw man argument. No one is hating trans people,
Nobody
really.
hates trans people.
Or if someone hates trans people, they wouldn't like you.
That's
or
right.
Blair.
That's why they don't like it.
Yeah.
Or you. Like, the reason that those people want to speak to us is because we resonate with them on some level. I actually don't resonate with those people, and they're trans. So does that make me transphobic? No, it just makes me that. I mean, it's the most stupidest argument ever.
Yeah.
Tell me one community where everybody likes each other.
Exactly.
There isn't one.
No.
You hate us because we have the audacity to live differently, knowing that people will not like us, and we do it anyway. You hate it when other people support us because that is not how difference should be treated.
Who's we?
To you, difference should be met with fear, hatred, and anger. When you see someone different, you no longer see them as human. You say, what do I call it? This thing does not deserve to live.
That's not true. Nobody says that.
No.
Only you said that also. And the fact being that she's we. So she's somehow thinking she's speaking for trans people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't speak for trans people. I never have and I never will. And neither do you. I've never seen you say, like, this is how trans people need to act, or this is how trans is. You've never, ever said that, and neither have I. I said, I am this, and this is how I know transsexualism and gender dysphoria are the reason you're trans.
Yeah.
But these people are just looking for something. I don't know, some validation. It's
no one is
very
saying
bizarre.
that we should not be alive anymore just because we're trans.
Nobody says that. Nobody. They say, some people say, I don't get it. Right? And I don't believe in it.
Isn't
And
that fine?
I'm actually okay with that. I don't expect somebody to take on a belief
Why
system.
should we care? I thought we should just live our authentic
But
lives.
dude, I've proved it. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm like the oldest on the block. I've literally been walking the world as a trans person for 30 years, and I haven't had a problem.
Yeah.
So I proved that that's not true. I wouldn't be alive for 30 years as a trans person if everybody hated us and nobody wanted us to be here.
Yeah, so what she's trying to say, again, I have to, like, translate this woke language that nobody understands.
That's right, I love it.
She's trying to say that us transsexuals, we want to just live a normal life as normal men and women, and she thinks that's bad for some reason.
Yeah, she does.
And then she's talking about, oh, some people have a problem with people who are different. Like, well, that's not the point of being trans.
That's right.
You know, we're not celebrating our dysphoric areas and, like, we're, like, a trans woman is not a bearded lady.
That's right.
Yet you do see some men calling themselves trans women looking like bearded ladies from circuses.
That's right. It's not trans. It's something else. It's whatever that is, that's good for you.
Yeah.
But stop encroaching on our space and what we are, which is people who have an actual condition called gender dysphoria. I'm tired of the co-opting of trans.
Yeah.
They've co-opted and taken it and now made it into an identity. That's why we have to separate from them. And that way we can say, well, do your thing, my friend. But stop doing those videos and saying that we're not doing it right. You wouldn't make these videos if they weren't doing that. You would be doing other kinds of stuff.
And I wouldn't accuse other people of, like, thinking we should not be alive anymore. Not under attack.
Nope.
We can live a great life. I live a great life. You live a great life.
That's
and do you know why? Because we're responsible for our own lives.
For our own being.
Maybe we are trying to understand her arguments. Like, maybe we are different.
We
We're
are.
different from men. Of course we are.
Yeah.
And we're not, like, the same as regular women.
That's right.
Just because we are different doesn't mean that we want to be, like, seen as different in society.
And we're not. We're actually not. Those people are the ones being seen as different. And then she's creating some kind of dialogue that doesn't make any sense. And that's why people out there are like, what? What are you talking about? And also, I want to say this is very important. In order to get your freedom, you have to let other people have their freedom. You can't just be about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And so if it's only about trans rights, what about women's rights?
Children's rights?
Children's rights, all of it. So
yeah.
you're willing to throw women and kids under the bus for your own rights. That is not the way it works. You're going to get a backlash of people. So I'm going to choose the side that's willing to build a bridge with me. You keep saying, all these anti-trans laws. First off, they're not anti-trans laws. They are safeguarding children laws. Mm-hmm. And if people would stop and just sit down for one moment and understand, it's literally for children, these anti-trans laws. It has nothing to do with adults. Adults can continue to get their medicine.
And nothing to do with being trans.
And nothing to do with being trans. It's about kids and keeping them safe from transitioning and making a mistake. How is that anti-trans? The manipulation of the words, right?
Yeah,
the manipulating the way people think. All we're doing here is giving people another way of thinking about it.
Yeah.
I really hope that you look at both sides. I'm tired of this one-sided conversation. Not all of us believe what these people do right here and make these weird ideas of what it means to be trans, and that people like Marcus and me are bad people because we don't follow it's an agenda, dude.
Yeah, some people view trans as a political identity.
That's right.
For us, it's not actually an identity.
It's not.
It's just a condition that we treated, and now we're feeling great about ourselves.
That's right. That's all people need to know, and that's why people will look at us and be like completely
that makes sense.
Gracious.
I'm gonna need trans people like Caitlyn Jenner, like Buck Angel, to really reflect on what their end goal is here. Ernst Röhm was a member of the Nazi Party who was a homosexual. He helped Hitler's rise to power. He even helped with the other homosexuals and transgender people. Now, what happened in 1933, after the Nazis had officially risen to power, is he started to get a little uppity, and Hitler didn't like that. So turned on him, and he was. Now, I want you to really, really, really think what the end goal is.
Okay, I'll tell you what the end goal is. My end goal is to make sure people like you are not in this particular space anymore, and that your voice doesn't get heard like that, and our voice gets heard, because you're the one who are actually ruining this community. You completely co-opted what it means to be trans, and how dare you put me in the same space as a okay? I'm Jewish. It's so incredibly insulting. That's why I cannot stand these people. Like, how would they like it if I turn around and said that to them, which I never would.
No.
But how did we get in this space where everybody's now in...
And this is a she-he.
She-they,
sorry.
Of course it's a she-they, because they can't make...
So here again, we have someone who's not trans telling trans people what it means to be trans.
That's right. And I'm not allowed to be doing what I'm doing.
So he's comparing you, Blair, maybe me, and others
Totally.
to like a self-hating homosexual because he was gay, helping. What does that have anything to do with us?
What this weirdo is trying to say here is that we're kids because we're not for transitioning children. But this weirdo right here, who just became trans yesterday and isn't obviously doing any work to become trans, is literally telling us that we're the ones who are community. Actually, it's the other way around. You're the community, and you're messing with kids. You're a child abuser.
What's the end goal? Well, to protect children.
Yeah.
Children cannot consent.
And to take our community back from you because you're literally destroying what a transsexualism is. Yeah. So why don't you just sit down and think about what you're doing and maybe read a book.
For the people you are allying yourself with. Because you think they're going to stop at banning transitioning for kids. They're not. You think they're going to stop at banning transitioning for people who pass. They will come for you too. And there will be no one left.
I'm 30 years transitioned, lady, or whatever you are. I'm 30 years, they've never come for me. The only reason they would come for me now is because of you. You're the one making that happen, not me. 30 years, how many years do you have under your belt?
He said no one will be left, like no trans people will exist.
They're making it up, dude.
What are you talking about?
Making it look like we're this really under attack community.
But to be honest, I feel really bad for this person because he's clearly suffering mentally.
Clearly.
And
clearly.
I wouldn't say I feel very bad for him, but like he's in a community that is feeding him delusions.
That's right.
And that's not good because look at what happened with from Nashville, Tennessee. She was mentally disturbed and got told that we're under attack as trans people.
Yeah.
And our lives are under attack.
That's right.
So she did something in the name of trans ideology.
Insane.
It's very dangerous, this ideology, because you will push people who are mentally disturbed into doing bad things.
You watch. You watch. I'm not even going to say it, but you watch. And have they released the manifesto? No. They haven't released the manifesto, which I also find quite weird because every other manifesto has been released, but they're not going to release the trans person's manifesto. That's bizarre to me. We need to know what's going on in these kids' heads, that they would turn around and do something like that, and they're trans. Self-ID trans, by the way.
Yeah.
Not gender dysphoric, not going through a system, a self-IDing as trans. There's the problem.
We have to stop lying to people.
That's right.
And it doesn't matter if you're not struggling mentally. Like, it's just unethical to lie to anyone.
That's right.
And that's why, that's also our end goal, to remove all the lies. It's so important.
I mean, I keep saying you have to have gender dysphoria to be a transsexual, dude. That's what trans is. This idea that you don't need it's something else. That was the beginning of the end right there. When they said anyone could be trans. Why would somebody want to be trans?
You need to be depressed in order to deal with depression.
That's right. You can't.
What's so insane about saying that? But I want to show you 2 last videos that are more positive, and I think you're going to be really thrilled. So going from Germany to this, it's a good way to end this.
Idiot.
Okay, it's a trans woman who's more open-minded, and I'm really excited about it.
The word cisgender offensive to biological women? Please comment down below. I want to hear from you guys. I honestly had no clue so many women felt this way. I have nothing but utmost respect for biological women, and because of that, I'm going to retire the word cisgender from my vocabulary immediately.
Excellent.
Isn't that great?
Oh my God, that's like a hit. Thank you for showing me that. I hate the word cisgender. I will not use it. Every single person I know hates that word. They ask every day, please don't call me cisgender, and those turn around and call them cisgender. And every time.
And they always use it in a
negative
demeaning way.
And
oh, cis people?
They've made it into a slur. And then they actually say, cisgender isn't a slur. I'm like, really? It's actually how you use it. I've seen cis scum.
Yeah.
Right?
You never hear, oh, cis people are so amazing.
So amazing, right. It's so weird. It's just weird behavior. But I think everyone should stop using it. Everyone. Yeah. Don't play into that
So this is a trans woman listening to biological women, and not only listening, but respecting their wishes.
Right. That's right.
I think that's amazing. And she looks gorgeous. And
beautiful. She's beautiful.
Yeah.
Isn't it just amazing that daring to have an opinion that might differ ever so slightly from the social media mob makes you a pick-me, but white liberals who constantly apologize for being white, constantly beg for a pat on the head from minorities, and always put, here for the girls, gays, and theys, on every single post are not considered pick-me's?
I just love Blair so much.
I love her.
She's so like, bam, bam. No. She's a savior, for sure. Yeah. I really believe that a lot of us are doing the work now because of Blair.
100%.
She opened the door. She's the pioneer of all of it, and she never gave up.
She gave many people hope. Not only us as transsexuals, but like just everyone.
That's right. She's a lovely human being. All the hate she gets is disgusting and gross, but it really comes from the fact that those people fear her. These people who attack all of us, they fear the truth, and they're trying to hide it, and that's why they don't want us to be, and that's why your YouTube channel got taken down, because you probably got mass reported by a bunch of those weirdos.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? But sorry, you got your channel back.
They're afraid of what we can do.
That's right.
And they're afraid of losing their ideology or like their community, whatever that means anymore.
Well, ideology, and that's because we're actually destroying their ideology. We're showing that what they're doing is an actual ideology. What we're doing is something to fix ourselves so that we can move forward and walk the world and join into the world. That's the difference between us and them. We want to coexist and be part of the world. They do not. They want to dominate. They want to take space. They want to fucking run over women in sports. They
change
want to
society.
Oh my God! Good luck.
Yeah.
That's why all the words, right? Like birthing person and person with a uterus and all that. No. It's not going to work. Because, you know, people did fall into that trap and they started doing it. But I think now people realize what they did.
I love society. I love societal norms. I mean, that's quite controversial to say as a trans person, but like, there's a space for me in society.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't need society to change.
That's right.
Maybe I have done some changes to myself, but I didn't do it for other people.
That's right.
I did it to make myself happy.
And are you happy?
Yes.
And that's all that matters. That's all that any of this conversation. Are you happy? Do you feel solid? Do you need? And that's what people need to see. And that's why people like us. Because those other people are not happy.
They're miserable.
All they do is sit there and complain about other people like us, right? And they're not making an effort to actually fix the problem.
Yeah.
They're creating the problem as we come behind sweeping up the mess. And those people could change tomorrow and go back to living in their regular life. We say it all the time. Especially because they're not taking hormones, they're not doing surgery. You watch, in 5 years, all those people will be back having babies, being women.
Having a job.
Having a job.
I mean, you know, it's so healthy. It's so healthy to have a job, friends, go outside.
You think?
You know, enjoying the fresh air.
And get out of the basement, dude. Like, come on, man.
No, I actually mean it. It's very healthy, and all people should be getting outside more.
No, but I think that's one of the major problems.
Have you ever been called a pick-me?
Always. I get called bootlicker, pick-me, I get called a TERF, I get called transphobic, I get called a bigot, and I actually get called a Nazi, which is totally insane.
It's disgusting.
It's disgusting. It is actually out of control now. But, you know, I'm willing to take all those hits because I expose the hits like you do. We just keep exposing them. And so what they're doing is destroying themselves. They should have never came after me and you. Ever. Ever.
No.
That was the biggest mistake they did, because now all that does is light a fire under our ass. And now we're just like, okay, you want to play that game? I'll play the game.
I think they're jealous of how effective we are, because I get messages from Christian conservative people saying,
excellent,
I'm very religious, I'm very conservative, but I like your videos, I understand your struggles. They could never do that.
They don't get those
because
letters.
they're like in an echo chamber.
Yeah, they are.
They speak in communities that already accept trans people.
But they don't want acceptance. That's why I think what we all need to see here is they don't want acceptance. They want dominance. Big difference. If you look at our flag, that's got to be the most... it really does reflect the community. It's chaotic. The community hates each other. Everyone hates each other. And it's never been like that, my friend. We've disagreed, but we never hated each other the way we do now.
No.
It's actually quite disturbing.
But yeah, I hate the progressive flag. It makes me really upset.
Me too.
And that's why I made a video where I walked around it on the sidewalk.
That was so good.
I felt a little bit homophobic doing it. But I hope people know what I mean by it.
They know what you mean by it.
I mean, I'm trans and gay, so I think...
They know what you mean.
It's not about being anti-anything other than anti-dangerous ideology.
But why do we have to see it everywhere? Of course, I'm part of the community. We need to, sort of on some level embrace it as well as educate the world. But you think people are going to start getting resentful of us when all you see is a goddamn rainbow flag everywhere? It does. It starts to create a resentment. I saw that happen with Black Lives Matter. Right, all you saw was people started getting very mad about it, and not understanding what the whole point of that was. Right, and it lost its way.
Meaning,
and I think the same thing with the LGBT stuff. It's lost its way.
Yeah, because people don't want to get it shoved down their throat.
That's right. I don't want it shoved down my throat, and I'm part of it.
Exactly. Yeah. It's not the way to gain acceptance.
It is not.
For real.
It is not.
Thank you so much for being in my video.
Thank you. You're so awesome. I love you a lot, kiddo.
Thank you.
Thank you
too.
for all the work you do.
You too.
You're so great.
You're a big inspiration for me.
Thanks.
And a role model.
Yep.
Where can people follow you?
Buck Angel, Instagram, Buck Angel, Twitter. Watch out for Twitter. My YouTube channel is Buck Angel Official. Thank you.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.
Bye.